When you get to be around my age, 36 by the way, you develop certain lifelong habits and philosophies that kind of become your way of life. These things are hard to change and even harder to challenge. So imagine my surprise when a mere video game changed my outlook on life at this age, specifically on how I view friendship. I once believed in the lie of the Disney Channel friendship. I looked around me as a middle schooler, a teen, a college student, and then a young man praying over my life, asking God to send me that one friend that everyone else seemed to have. I wanted real friendship. But then I realized something. The fundamental mistake we make in our friendship lies in our very understanding of what friendship is, leading to false expectations and misperceptions both in what we want and expect from our friends, as well as what we aim to both achieve and provide as a friend. And if I'm making this mistake and the person I'm trying to make friends with is also making the same mistake, there is no way we can reach the promised land of friendship, where we both are on the same page. Which means at the end of the day, it'll be something that is built on stuff not said, slights taken, feelings hurt, and eventually it'll lead to not being friends anymore. So I decided in my infinite wisdom, I don't really need friends. Well, not real friends anyway. I have friends of course, but I don't have any friend in my life that I can bare my soul to, tell my darkest secrets to, be myself with. Because being judged sucks, and not being able to tell your friend that maybe your kink is taking a dump on someone's chest sucks harder. So yeah, I have people in my life I can hang out with, talk about animes, movies and all that shit, but I am, by and large, a solitary creature. And I used to think this was the right way to live my life. And then I played Persona 5 Royal. And this is how it changed me. I've never played a Persona or a Shin Megami Tensei game before. I hadn't played Persona 5 before. Persona 5 Royal is my first Persona game, and what follows from here on will be completely spoiler laden, so this is your spoiler warning. How I perceive Persona 5 is as an experience and not as a game. This is similar to how I see games like Firewatch and Undertale. They're more experiences than they're games because they focus on teaching the audience something through the story, the characters, the mechanics, rather than on a wide variety of activities in the game itself. What makes it special, however, is that the medium is a video game, an interactive medium. This allows the audience to make decisions, which provides a more immersive experience. For the sake of succinctness, I'll forego a summary of the story of Persona 5. The Phantom Thieves, the heroes of the game, announce their intention to steal the hearts of the corrupt adults in their world. Each person they steal the heart of is representative of the 7 deadly sins. I'm not going to go into the story any further, but with that, I would like to allow myself to gush about this game. Persona 5 is undoubtedly my favorite game of all time after all. The social links mechanic of Persona 5 is my favorite aspect of the game. It incorporates an in-game component that expounds on each character's backstory. Many films, books, and video games fail to explain their characters' backgrounds, motivations, and goals. Persona 5's social links has this tremendous capacity of character development that other mediums of entertainment are lacking. Ryuji and Ann felt defeated by Kamoshida's dictatorship and sexual assault on both her and her friend Shiho, unable to do anything to fight back. In the end, Ryuji became at peace with himself and his tracked friends, and Ann saved her friend Shiho from further abuse. Yusuke thought he was unconditionally indebted to Madarame, bound to acquiescence. He found what it truly meant to be an artist after his previous perceptions were muddied by Madarame's influence. Makoto was subjected to the same unfair system her sister Sai was enslaved to. She came to realize her justice and became aware of the mistakes Sai made that she needed to avoid. Futaba was branded a murderer and lost sight of her feelings and memories of her mother. She reintegrated into society after moving on from this past trauma. Haru acknowledged her father used others solely for political advantage, not caring who he may hurt. She dispelled her anxieties, undertook great responsibilities, and regained control of her life. Sumire is trapped under the weight of the death of her sister, and her only escape from that is to become her sister, quite literally. She realizes that she herself is a person worth saving and that becoming her sister is not the only way she can remember her. All this development is of course shown through the events of the social link interactions. After being initially defeated by the Holy Grail, each individual Phantom Thief frets about how they wouldn't be in the situation, poised in an unwinnable battle against a god if they had not rebelled against the system. They soon come to realize that continuing to live the way they had been was just not an option. The Phantom Thieves know what they stand for and will die trying to preserve it. None of this potential is realized without the power of friendship. None of this happens if you, the player, don't take hours and hours of your time from your obscure goal of leading an honest student life to help your friends, to be their rock, to hold their hands when they're at the lowest. And that, in turn, makes you powerful. To face the demons in your heart, to fuel your rebellion, to be the very best you can be. You become stronger together by being together. Persona 5 stands as a great story to empower the disenfranchised, to tell them to persist, never give up. Fight for those ideals you wholeheartedly believe in. You have the potential to change the world. The first step to do so is acknowledging the problem. In many cases, each individual's problems may be a product of issues with society itself. It may be a daunting task, but everyone is entitled to fighting for better circumstances. These instances keep the moral of the story grounded, that life will change, but with enough effort, anything can be achieved. All you need is a friend or 10. And in the 200 hours it took me to play this game, the realization dawned on me that friends are a mirror by which all that we are is reflected back to us. Their principal role and function are as teachers of who we are. And if on the way we experience happiness, joy and fun with them, then all that is an added bonus. And if you don't want to be judged for who you are, whatever your circumstances, you start with yourself. Judge not lest ye be judged and all that jazz. The other part of this puzzle is truth. In friendship, it is of utmost importance that we are true to ourselves, that we speak and live according to our truth as much as we possibly can. Love can only exist when there is complete truth. We cannot live in love if we are not honest in our expectations, desires, or behaviors, really. And that, I feel, is the most important lesson Persona 5 teaches you: how to be a friend. Through a simple game mechanic, it teaches you to listen to people in your life, to listen to their stories, to not judge them, to understand that not all shoes are made to fit you, but you can damn well try to walk a mile in them. If Joker, Akira, Ren, whatever you want to call him, listened to everyone around him and judged Ryuji off as a delinquent, or Ann as a slut who was using the gym teacher to get ahead in school, or if those two had believed in the lies that Joker was a criminal who had assaulted someone, they would never have become lifelong friends. In this game, where the storyline is more about humanity as a whole and what can be done to fight against a collective desire for an end, there's always time to get to know the people around you. Joker fights alongside people he probably would not have easily encountered if left to his own devices. Characters from different social classes and backgrounds are represented, and you can help more people than even that. The game rewards you for talking to people and finding out more about them, helping them with resolution and hope when you can. But as the game draws to an end, I listen quietly as my imaginary friends talk around me. Though I shouldn't be, I'm surprised they're all gathered to wait for me. I've had a rough few days, but I foolishly didn't think they'd be so concerned. Unexpectedly, I'm moved. More than ever, I feel we're all on the same page, all working in concert toward the same goals. These aren't just my teammates, they're friends and allies in every sense of the word. Objectively, I know my friends don't care about me. They can't care about me. They're writing in computer code and animated fiction with a predetermined path. They're just as attached to me as they are to the over 4.6 million others who have the game. And it isn't even me that they're friends with. It's a version of me created to fit into the narrative of a video game. Yet I felt valued, trusted, loved even. They'd seen me at my most vulnerable, knew me with all my faults, and still they rallied around me. I wasn't afraid of being cut out or saying the wrong thing. I knew my friends inside out. And no clumsy tongue or inconsiderate moment, nor time or distance could harm our relationships. I knew I was being ridiculous, every moment was scripted. My attachment is silly, misplaced and unreciprocated. But I think to myself just this once. I'll allow myself to be sentimental. My friends are fictional, but that doesn't mean our adventures didn't happen. In that fictional reality, that only reality exists to them, I am a valued friend. I can't bring myself to destroy that, but slowly, I'm learning to let go. I'm learning how to listen, how to be a better friend. I'm trying once again to open up, as is evident by this video I made about my feelings. This game reminded me of a lesson that I learned from someone else a couple of years ago, that you can still grow no matter what your age. And if you know the history of this channel, you know about Ahmed. He was my friend. Sometimes I think he was the only friend I ever made. He showed me friendship is about knowing, deep, intimate knowing, and it's really awesome when your friend sends you Star Wars underwear because he knows. But he didn't read your mind. Instead, you had conversations and shared details and listened and maybe took notes. It takes time to build friendship and effort and more sacrifice than reward. It takes hard stuff happening like loss and transition and life change to get to the good stuff, and they still just won't magically know. But then he passed away. As sudden as any life-changing event can be, he was gone to cancer. And as selfish as it was, my first thought after that horrible phone call letting me know that he was gone was I was alone again. I forgot the lesson that he taught me, that we aren't alone. Not really, not if we don't want to be. I went back into my fortress of solitude, firmly back into my beliefs that life does indeed go on. You don't need friends, they'll just leave you anyway. Till I played Persona 5 Royal. It was the same feeling I got when I finished this game. These characters and I had helped each other overcome everything from emotional insecurity to cruel authoritarians to literal gods. But now our lives were destined to go on without each other. I had to say goodbye to my best friends, knowing I would never see or speak to them again. But slowly, I'm learning to let go. I remembered all the times we shared together, all the laughs, all the memories, all the bad puns, all the plans, all of the hopes, dreams and bad TV shows. I remembered my friend, and in this reality of the next, Ahmed will always be my friend. While these games are meant to be pieces of entertainment that incorporate various mythic story beats like in any great narrative or grand myth, there are lessons to uncover. These lessons can be to recognize your own fears so those fears do not rule you, or to fight against despair, or even simply to try and do what you can to make your corner of the world a little friendlier, a little kinder. In the end, we're all in the darkness, trying to be found, to be seen, to be understood. We are walking in the darkness with outstretched hands, hoping someone takes it. And once, if just for once, someone takes it, hold on to it for dear life.